What is up, guys? And in this simple video, I'm going to tell you the steps of what you should do when you have a dead Nikon battery and whether or not you should get a new one, should you get a replacement, what should you do. I'll let you know about all that in this video. Stay tuned. So this applies to any Nikon, especially if you have a 3000, 5000, or 7000 series, but it also applies to your general DSLRs or mirrorless cameras. So first tip, if your battery is dead, kind of straightforward, is make sure you charge it. And if your LED blinks and it's charging and then it goes to a full solid color, link in the description for that video about Nikon chargers, then your camera is not dead and all it was just you needed to charge your battery. But if you're still having issues of having a dead battery and your camera won't turn on, here are a couple of the things that I recommend you do and check out and possibly purchase if you have a dead or a corrupt battery. So these guys, the black ones, are the Nikon En-EL14. Link is in description for these guys. And they hold a capacity of 1030 milliamps. And these are the original. If you bought your Nikon, these are the single battery that it comes with. And it is OEM, or AKA manufactured, and it's not a third-party battery. And what I recommend if your battery's dead is make sure your battery itself, it is a first party battery. That is one of the issues when people have when they buy batteries that are like third party. Think, oh, I can save 20 bucks, 40 bucks, but the battery might either mess up your camera or they don't hold their charge as long, so you can't. There's a lot of issues, which is why every time I buy a camera, I always buy the first party batteries. So that is another tidbit. I guess the second tip is if you have a Nikon, I would recommend these guys, which are the Nikon En-EL14a, which they hold 1230 milliamps, meaning they last longer than the black batteries than these guys. And they last about an hour or two longer. And the thing about these guys is that they're newer and more compatible with Nikon cameras in general. So that is another tidbit, and if you want to pick this up, link is in the description. I highly recommend. I actually have 5 of these on a full day shoot. Here's the second one for proof, but I have a lot of these guys. And why I recommend this is, one, it is longer and it is a newer battery for your Nikon camera. And if you get a new battery and you're charging it and it's still dead, what that means is you might need a new charger, as if the light blinks, what that means is it is currently still charging, and if it's a solid light, that means it is completed finishing charge. And I would recommend you take that out, and once it's fully charged and the LED light stops blinking, take that battery out, put it into your Nikon camera, and see if your camera itself turns on. And if it doesn't turn on, possibly the chances are you might need a new charger. And this has happened to me, and that is actually my second MH24 charger, and that solved my issue of having a dead Nikon battery. And if that doesn't solve the issue, then you pretty much, by process of elimination, if it's not the battery, if it's not the charger, it might be your camera. Because if you can supply battery power to your camera, then reality is your camera might have issues. In other words, what I recommend is you either do a factory reset on your camera, you update its firmware, and I have a complete video on that in the description below. But if all your batteries are dead and nothing works and you can't power it, the reality is it isn't the battery, and it is more so the camera. But that is in really rare condition that would actually happen. And the reality is a simple change in your battery, like upgrading to the En-EL14a over here, or getting yourself a new charger, would nearly solve the trick of having a dead battery. And if you actually need more help below, I actually have a free guide. You can check that out. Link is in the description. Sign up for that link, and I will give you all my gear for a complete beginner. And on top of that, I also have an exclusive Nikon course for all of you Nikon users. Link in the description, all my resources in the description. And that is how you solve a dead battery issues, because Nikon you might have an anomaly with your camera. So I hope that helps you, give you a little bit of peace of mind, and it's not the end of the world. My name is Peter. You're watching Broke Visionary Collective, where we all start with nothing, but you can always create something. Cheers.